Hi guys, Baz from Hognose UK here. I've got a genetic stripe clutch to cut tonight. This is from a Enchi genetic stripe to a carnivore banana het genetic stripe, a confusion het genetic stripe, and a predator genetic stripe, because I didn't think she was going to go, and she had massive follicles, so I just kept bunging the boys in, never saw a lock. So it's a proper Who's the Daddy clutch. And without further ado, let's go and cut them and see who actually is the dad. So these guys started to pip last night just before I went to go to bed, and so I, as I was getting up really early, I slit them and left them to get on with it. And as you can see, the first snake is already out. That is either an Enchi genetic stripe, or, and I think this is more likely, I think it's actually a confusion Enchi genetic stripe. Now when I cut these, I also saw what looked like some very weird, very strange looking animals in these eggs, so I think it may be a dual-sided clutch, and you'll see why in a minute. So they're due today. It's an Enchi butter genetic stripe. I put a confusion het genetic stripe and a carnivore het genetic stripe in there. Last year I put a black head carnivore in there as well. So let's have a look what we made. I just made little slits in them in case anyone wanted to get out. I've seen a couple of them that I've cut, I've got quite big yolks in them still, so some of them are not quite ready. Oh wow. So that, I'm going to say, is probably a super Enchi confusion genetic stripe. It's not really ready to poke his head out at the moment. There's quite a big yolk in there, so I'm not going to pull it out. Not sure why they started pipping last night if the yolks are still so big, but as you see, that one I just picked out, it hasn't absorbed its umbilicus completely. I will put it back in the box in a minute, but just needed it out of the way while I did the cutting. And there, now that looks more like a Enchi genetic stripe. It's much more sort of orangey, and it hasn't got these like fading patterns around the stripe. That actually could be coral glow. It's a weird orangey colour, it's weird. So the carnivore het genetic stripe is a coral glow. Last year it made a load of genetic stripes, but it didn't actually make any coral glows. So quite hard for me to tell inside the egg. I am colourblind, and I struggle with coral glow a little bit, but that, I can't really make up my mind. I think that's a super Enchi confusion again. Yeah, I'm going to go for that for the time being. Obviously it'll be a lot easier to tell once these guys are out the egg. He's already out. This little guy's poking his head out, so look where you are. Now that, oh, okay, I think that is a carnivore genetic stripe. The banding doesn't look wide enough, but it's an odd colour for it to be a normal genetic stripe. So I'm going to reserve judgment on that one and say it's a normal genetic stripe, which I haven't made one of in years, but celery. And this one looks quite underdeveloped. I'm not sure what's going on with this one. Still in its membrane, so I'm just going to leave it in there. It looks healthy enough. Now that's definitely confusion. Yeah, that's definitely a confusion genetic stripe. So I think this is a dual sired. I think some of these are going to turn out to be from the carnivore and coral glow, and the others, like these super Enchis, they could only really come from the confusion Enchi genetic stripe. Wow. Wow. Now the weird thing is, and I'm probably going to completely jinx it as I normally do, every single snake so far has been a genetic stripe. Which is going to confuse me even further. Ah, there we go. So then that is an inch, a normal Enchi. I did put the kibosh on it. So there's an Enchi genetic stripe there. Very bright, very orange, very vibrant looking. So up to that point, I've got 7 out of 8 genetic stripes. And this last one, as you can see, is quite a bit of a boob egg, this one. Doesn't really matter, I've hatched many decent snakes out of boob eggs in the past. And there's my other session. I won't be mouth until I finish cutting them, should I? Now this is a really weird looking, this genetic stripe, this het genetic stripe, I've made a few of these over the years out of my genetic stripes. I reckon there's probably another gene in there. I've never pursued it. However, I kept 2 of these back last year that contain genetic stripe and clown, and they look like this. So if there is another gene in there, I'm going to breed them together at some point and we'll find out. So there, what a clutch. So 7 out of 9 genetic stripes. And to be honest with you, until these guys have shed off and I've had another really good look at them, I'm not even entirely sure what they are. That's got like yeah, I don't think any of these are coral glow actually. I think these are all like I think these are all Enchi and super Enchi combos. And the one I thought might be a carnivore, I think is probably just a normal genetic stripe. We'll see when they're all out the egg. I'll probably change my mind again. I don't normally have any trouble identifying genetic stripes, but this lot is giving me a headache. So here they are all shed off. There was 2 hets and a normal genetic stripe in this clutch. A friend of mine pinched that and the 2 hets. So I'm just left with the nice visual stuff really. Okay. So the first 2 I initially thought were Enchi genetic stripes. This one that's hissing at me, grumpy little thing, I think is just an Enchi genetic stripe, and that's a little female, very clean, very nice looking, ouch, animal, who's quite spiteful. And then there's another one here which I initially thought was Enchi. I'm gonna have to grow these 2 on a bit. They're actually a little bit darker than the Enchis I normally grow, but the chances of them all being confusion are a little bit is a bit narrow, so I don't know. This one definitely looks a lot darker than any Enchi genetic stripes I've ever bred before. Look at that one. I think I might put the lid on there or I'm going to end up bleeding all over the place. So yeah, they are slightly different, but it could be the influence from the confusion, you know, a bit of codominant what do they call it, codominant influence is the word I was looking for. So I think that's just a dark looking Enchi genetic stripe, because I'm certain that these 2 are both confusion genetic stripes. grumpy little shits. Let me show you the one I hatched out last month, which is here. Yeah, you see, you've got lots of breaks in the back stripe, whereas these guys haven't, and these two both have. I'm going to say they're just dark Enchis, and this is an Enchi Confusion, and then so are these. Now, I did initially think that this one might be a super, but I'm not really sure now. I probably won't know until I breed them. There was another one of these. There was 3 of these, but one of them was born. It only had one eye, and I thought, well, I'll give it to someone as a pet. But when it came out of the egg, it was very badly kinked, unfortunately, so it was euthanized. So these look like they're about to bite me as well. Yep, having a good try. I think that one might be a super, you know. It's a lot cleaner and the pattern's much more broken up. So this one is an Enchi Confusion genetic stripe, and that is a girl who's also grumpy. They all seem to be quite grumpy this evening. Really, really nice. I love the colour of it. These dark sort of chocolatey browns that they've got on them, and the way the pattern actually breaks up. It's not, you know, it reminds me of actually a genetic stripe clown, to be honest. But they're not, obviously, because there's no clown involved in these. I'm going to say I'm going to have no problems feeding these little buggers. And then last but not least, I think this one, it's much lighter. The pattern's a lot more broken up. And I just think this one is a super. But regardless of what it is, what I think it is, it's a male. So that'll be quite quick to prove out. So in a year's time, I'll be able to prove him out. And the other one's a girl, and that one I just showed you that I hatched out a little while ago is also a female. So pair would be, this male would be quite useful. There we go. I genuinely think that is a super. Look at the head, lovely chocolate colour on the head. I genuinely think this is a super Enchi Confusion genetic stripe. Very happy with how these came out. Wasn't really sure what I was doing when I decided I was going to make Confusion genetic stripes, but it works. I think it works really well with the Enchi. Now I'm going to have to put it across something. I've got a big female GHI het genetic stripe. I might go GHI next, see what happens with that. So there you go. Some really lovely snakes there. As I say, I gave the couple of hets and the normal genetic stripe to a friend of mine who said he'd like some genetic stripes, so he's took them on and is going to get them feeding. Can't be disappointed. I would have liked some more carnivore genetic stripes, to be honest with you. I've only got 2 females. I would have liked a male, but obviously that didn't happen, and none of them appear to be predator genetic stripes, so I don't think it's a mixed clutch. I'm very happy with the way Enchi and Confusion have worked in the genetic stripe. I've said it, I think I said it on the last video or in the update bit. They look like genetic stripe clowns. Obviously not. There isn't any genetic stripe clown. I am actually working on that. I have got Enchi double het genetic stripe clowns growing up as we speak. Decent size, probably about 1 kilo each now. So hopefully in the future I will be able to do that. But these, getting the male Confusion genetic stripe was awesome. I've now got 1.2, and I can start mixing that across stuff. Obviously, once one of the female carnivore genetic stripes is adult, I'd imagine I'll put the male to that and take it from there. There's not a lot of people working with genetic stripes in this country, and I think it's a shame. I also I went back through my records. I also omitted to mention I also put a blackhead in there, because I was going to go for blackhead genetic stripes. So maybe that's something else I ought to work out on as a sideline, and do blackhead Confusion genetic stripes. So anyway, I'm waffling as usual. If you enjoyed this video, please tick the the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and stay dry out there.